Hi friends, welcome back. I love to repair mid-century furniture and flip it for a profit. It's way easier to do than you may think. If you find a piece and it has a broken leg or some split seams, don't be intimidated. Both of these things are really easy fixes, and today I'm going to show you how I do both of them using just some simple parts and some hand tools that you probably have at home. So stay tuned. All right, so first up, we're going to repair the leg. Now, most of the time when you find these, what ends up happening is the female screw part will either get stripped out or sometimes it'll actually snap off in the frame. So this kit that I linked below gives you kind of some retrofit parts that you can use to repair it. Luckily, they do include a new male part as well with these little female retrofit plates. So let's flip this sofa over and take a look at exactly what's going on and see if we can fix it. So after flipping it over, it's exactly like I had expected. The female part is stripped out. So we're going to just go ahead and add this plate on the bottom, and that way our leg will have something to screw into. As you can see, it looks like someone tried shoving something in here to get the leg to actually screw in properly. You can drill out and hammer in a new receptacle for this, but these retrofit kits are so much easier, especially if the bottom of your sofa is plywood like this one is. I'm gonna start by pre-drilling the holes so I don't risk cracking the plywood. Next up, I'm just going to secure the plate using some Phillips screws. And then voila, easy peasy. For the sake of symmetry and to make sure that our front legs aren't different heights, I'm gonna go ahead and add a mounting plate to the leg that is not broken, just because I feel like this mounting plate raises the leg about 1/4 inch, and I want to make sure that my sofa doesn't wobble. Now that I've repaired the legs, I'm going to show you how to deal with this split seam in the vinyl. You have two options: to take the foam out and sew the cushion using a machine, or to stitch it by hand. There's pros and cons to both, but the reason I'm going to stitch it in place is because if you do not have a long-armed sewing machine that's made specifically for quilting or for doing upholstery work, you won't be able to stitch this cushion back together, and it has to do with this piping and the way that it's actually sewn. Even if you turn it inside out, you're gonna need that long arm sewing machine to get inside of the cushion cover to stitch it in place. So the best option for most people is going to be to stitch it with the foam in place and just kind of do a quick little tack repair. You're gonna need two things to do this. One, these curved upholstery needles work really well to help stitch while the cushion is in place, so go and get yourself some of these curved needles. Second, it's going to be really important that you use a super heavy-duty upholstery thread. When you're looking at the thread, you'll actually see it'll say for upholstery work. This is 100% nylon, and it's extremely strong, so it's something that you can't break by pulling on it. You want the cushion to be able to take a lot of tension, and so it's important to use the right kind of thread. When stitching this up, the process is more tedious than it is complicated. You're really just going to do a whip stitch down the entire length of the seam, so it takes time. So as you can see, I've tied it off and I've got it nice and secure in the piece of vinyl. I'm going to start by going backwards one stitch, and I'm going to pull it all the way through. So pushing it through the current hole that was there and pulling that nice and taut. Okay, and then I'm going to go back on the top piece of vinyl and I'm going to whip a stitch forward, meaning in this direction, using the curved needle to using the curved needle to get the upholstery thread through the holes that are already there. So a nice tip would be to keep a pair of needle nose pliers. It really helps you maneuver that needle a little easier. It's easier on the tips of your fingers than trying to pull it through by hand. So after you've got your stitch there, you're going to come back in this exterior piece, find the hole, poke it through, pull it nice and taut, go backwards, pull it through, and then go in and whip stitch here. And when you go through, you're going to want to take your thread and loop it through your stitch to keep it all nice and tight. There you go, and then you just repeat that process all the way down the cushion. Now that I've got my sofa all patched up, the only thing left to do is to clean it up. All right, there you have it. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more DIY content. Till next time, stay curious and stay creative.